Hello everyone, welcome to Cheeseology with Adam. I'm Adam. Today I'm going to be going over basic equipment you need to make cheese at home. You really don't need a lot, you probably have most of this already, but I just want to cover a couple items so you're prepared when you start making cheese. Before I get started, if you wouldn't mind please hitting the like and subscribe button down at the bottom of this video. Really appreciate the support for the channel. Alright, so there's a couple of key things that we need first. First and foremost, you need a good stock pot. No matter what kind of cheese you're making, whether it's a mozzarella that you can eat within an hour, hour and a half of starting to make it, or you're making an aged cheese like Parmesan or something like that, you need a good stock pot, dump the milk in, and start the process. I just use I don't know what size this is, but I can comfortably put 4 gallons of milk in this, and it's still easy to work with using 4 gallons. It has kind of a thick bottom. I got that because you don't want the milk to get real hot at the bottom first. You want to try to make sure the milk heats up evenly. When I do this, and in other videos you'll see this, I stir it every so often as I'm heating it up. I don't want the bottom to be 85 degrees and the top to be 50. I want it all to consistently warm up. So first and foremost, a decent stock pot to put milk in. If you're going to be creating small batches, like 2 gallons of milk, you probably have a stock pot that'll accommodate that already. Now I make my cheese in my garage. I brew beer and make cheese, so I'm set up in my garage, but everything I'm doing here you can do in your kitchen on your stove. Because I don't have a stove in my garage, what I use is a hot plate. Works great. I just plug it in, and now I know, based on the control, on the single knob that's on this, I know where I need to put it to warm it up at a gradual rate, depending on whatever kind of cheese I'm making. Works excellent. A couple other things you'll need. Obviously, some cheesecloth. I get all of my materials, all of my ingredients, minus the milk, from New England Cheesemaking Company, and that's at cheesemaking.com. The link is provided here in the video, in the description. So I get my cheesecloth from there, a good thermometer. I just clip it onto the side of my pot like that, and you can monitor the temperature the whole time. It's very important throughout the cheese making process to have a good thermometer. That's the key of making good quality cheese, is having the milk at the correct temperature throughout the process. If you heat your curds up too much, you'll dry them out. If it's not warm enough, they're not going to dry out enough, and that'll affect your final curd moisture. I'll go on to that in other videos, but a good thermometer is essential. And one that clips in, that you can just constantly monitor, is really the best that I've found. So we have the stock pot, good thermometer, need just a basic ladle. I use a stainless steel ladle that works great for stirring curd, stays sanitary, stainless steel. A good colander. Now this is a really big one. The reason I bought this is because I make some bigger batches and it's just easier to use. You can use, for a long time I used just a regular colander out of my kitchen, which works perfectly fine for 2-gallon batches. Where it gets a little tricky is if, when you make 4-gallon batches, the typical home colander really isn't big enough to hold that. Or if it is, you can lose some curd, it just gets messy. If you can find one on Amazon that's big, it'll make your lives a lot easier. A couple other things you'll need. A good set of measuring spoons. When I say good set, I mean a set that has very small measuring spoons. This one here goes down to 1/64 of a teaspoon. The reason you need them this small is because you don't need a lot of bacteria culture, or if you're making blue cheese, blue spores, you don't need a lot of those to go into the milk. Your typical home set doesn't go this small, so for minimal amount of money, you can get a set that goes really tiny. Very good to have. Another item, spatula. You need this to cut the curd. After you form the curd, you have to cut it. In the other videos where I'm actually making cheese, I'll go through all of those steps, but you want something long, and this works perfect. For some cheeses, they're going to have to air dry. A lot of the aged cheeses, all of the aged cheeses will have to air dry for time before you actually put them in your aging space. I use this bamboo mat. And then the last item I want to go over is, and you don't have to have this, but as you get more involved in the cheese making process and you want to make better quality cheese, you want to measure the pH. pH is essential in cheese making. There's certain cheeses that I'll go over that require monitoring of the pH. So yeah, pH meter is not essential to have, but as you get more advanced, it's a good tool to have. I made lots and lots of cheeses without ever testing pH, and they tasted great. One other thing, a cheese press. I use this style of cheese press. You hang weights from here, and it presses down, and the weight drains.
Now the curd is in the pocket.
Again, I got this from New England Cheesemaking Company, cheesemaking.com. Again, the link is in the description of this video. This thing is wonderful. I can put 100 pounds of pressure on cheese from hanging weights on this. It never had a problem. Presses evenly. It's a great product. One other item, as you get into pressed cheeses, cheese forms. This is an 8-inch diameter form that I use for 4-pound wheels, and here's a smaller form that I use for 2-pound wheels. I have a couple other types. It depends really on what kind of cheese you're making. Some cheeses you want to make different shapes for different reasons, but the forms, again, you can get from New England Cheesemaking Company. From the equipment I just showed you, you can make a host of cheeses. Watch my other videos. Again, please subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you. See you next time.